So now we're going to talk about some of the myths, right? And again, the Oasis logo is there, and I'm going to tell you why it's called Oasis. If anyone has ever seen Ready Player One, read the book or seen the movie, Oasis Digital Studios, the name Oasis is an homage to the Oasis, the virtual world in which everybody plays in. So I wanted to thank everyone again for coming out. And so we want to dispel some of the myths here. And I'm not going to go through each one independently, but I do want to talk to you about them. You know, a lot of people are talking about that NFTs are pointless novelties. But if you think about NFTs and digital art, it has a rich history. Digital art's been around for many years, and NFTs are the great equalizer, allowing artists to use this platform as a means to widen their user base or their constituents and broaden their horizons, but also to create revenue from their art. You know, NFTs are not buzzwords. You know, they're real things that you can collect. They are serialized, they're individualized, and they're digital. Okay, and again, fans can experience more authentic and rich experiences through NFTs. And although it's still at early days, you know, there will be some large scale events happening both in the real world and the metaverse, which we'll talk about later, that will create intimate experiences with each of the users. You know, people think, well, NFTs are just like dollar bills. Maybe they can be duplicated and lose potential collectability. Again, I'm not going to focus on value because we're not here to talk about, appreciation or investment, because our business is really about experiences, storytelling, and collectabilities. But most NFTs are built on the Ethereum blockchain, and where they're stored and they're unique tokens, making them authentic and individual. Although it can be downloaded many times, you know what? The original holder holds that token, so it is individual and is owned by the individual user. Again, serialized, and each token is unique. You know, some people will say NFTs promote forgery and misappropriation, but that's really not true. Most platforms, and the better platforms, actually require users and purchasers to meet the requirements of the KYC and AML, which is Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering, and as well as what's called the Financial Action Task Force rules, or the VAS rules or the travel rule, for ensuring that the people who are buying them are vetted before they can use their money. So it is clear title and clear chain of custody, and collectors can be confident that the original digital file is a one and only digital file, because again, it is serialized and it is recorded on the blockchain. Here's the big one I get all the time in interviews, that NFTs are bad for the environment. Now, there are different ways to look at NFTs and how they're created. You know, yes, if they're created on the Ethereum blockchain, they use power to create Ethereum, because Ethereum is a byproduct effectively of creating a new block on the blockchain. But most mining operations that create Ethereum on a commercial scale are located near renewable energy sources, hydroelectric power, geothermal, other types of electricity, because it's cheaper and because everyone in the industry is conscious of that. We're also moving to something called proof of stake versus the proof of work model. And that allows us to stake or put up tokens as a model for ensuring the creation of more tokens. And really it's not just about mining, but I always want to also talk about the other type of currency. If you think about today, if you think about traditional currency, fiat, we have to mine coins, which have an environmental issue, mining metals and mining all kinds of alloys. We have to cut down trees to package and produce everything. We have to use a lot of energy. Many of the mills and many of the minting facilities and many of the printing facilities are nowhere near renewable energy sources and are located in big metropolitan areas. And as such, they're not necessarily as efficient as mining operations. And then what about the transportation, the banking industry? So I don't believe that NFTs are bad for the environment, because again, as a comic book collector, I traditionally collect paper-based comics. If I can now start collect digital works of art, then my footprint, my overall footprint is that much smaller. So I'm supporting I believe the environment by looking at NFTs over physical collectibles.